fam, HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Duff, and as always, I'm here with my co-hosts Jess and Jonathan.
Hello.
Hi, in unison. Gorgeous, beautiful. You guys should do a duet. It would be lovely.
Beetle John.
Beetle John. Before we get into it, go give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365, and our TikTok at HHN365pod. Also, come join us on our Discord server. It's the server. It's HHN365's Horror Fam. You can find the direct link in the description or on our social media in the link tree. It's everywhere. Go check out our merch. We dropped a new line pretty recently with a phenomenal Bugs Eaten Alive shirt, inspired shirt. Don't sue us, Universal. And then a shirt for our lovely H, our king, our queen, our whatever H wants to be honest. It can be it.
H is transcendent. H has no limits, no boundaries.
No. King, queen, no, that's below it. It's something much larger. God.
Exactly.
It's a god.
Emperor,
It's a god.
H is a god.
And if you want to join us here on the show, you can do that by leaving us a voicemail at 407-906-4134. We will play it right here on the show and discuss what you have to say. But a few things before we get into the actual episode. We did our HHN 36 Live today, the day of recording. What's today? Sunday, the 16th. It was great. Love it. Always fun. We get more viewers every time. And we love when people come up and say hi. Chloe with the streak of 4 lives in a row. So congratulations.
Woo.
Woo. And our next event will be a Discord Q&A. That'll be Sunday the 23rd. So a little less than a week from when we're dropping this episode. We're going to do that at 7 p.m. So if you haven't joined our server already, come join it. We'll be doing a live Q&A. Our first event in our Discord server, so that should be a lot of fun. We've been waiting to do that since we've launched it, basically. So exciting.
Yeah, it should be really fun. You guys can ask us questions through the chat, and we can answer it, just live right there for you guys. So it should be a fun experience, and we are excited to use our Discord in a different way to really help grow the community we have building over there.
Oh, definitely. And for the last update, if you did buy merch during the initial pre-order, which was before or on March 29th, then your merch has been shipped unless you've been notified otherwise. So this should be on its way to you. Other than that, on today's show, we're going to go over basically a ton of rumors and construction updates relating to both Orlando and Hollywood's HHN. And then we're going to discuss Mardi Gras because it's done now. Once you're listening to this, it's done. It's actually done now, regardless. And we'll kind of talk about anything that changed, and then also how we can transition that into HHN and anything we see at Mardi Gras that maybe should be at HHN too. But before that, again, plenty of news and rumors. Jonathan, get in there.
Okay, absolutely. The first thing we're going to talk about is HHN construction. First for Orlando. You can see near Sprung Tent 2 where Bugs Eaten Alive was, and Wicked Growth, that a tunnel is... I think that's okay. That a tunnel is being built outside of the facade, just like before in the previous houses. So I'm not sure we're going to see many more updates on that for a little bit, but the structure itself is built, and that's always good news. It's fun to see and talk about. And we're going to get back to our discussion on the MIB tent. And I know previously we've talked about, is it going to be used for a house? Is it going to be used for holding things for walkways and queues and stuff like that? And we have some updates. Mainly that, first, the MIB tent is still just a half a tent. It has not grown to full size. And second, on the permit for this tent, we have a little more information, and that is that Gamer Holt Productions is on the permit. Garner Holt's Productions is on the permit. Which they are a company that produces animatronics for places like Chuck E. Cheese, and yeah, I mean
It,
it's
and Universal and Disney.
Universal and Disney.
You know,
See,
the more important of the
I
three.
love that you led with Chuck E. Cheese,
And then
Jonathan.
stopped at Chuck E.
Yeah,
Cheese. You're
you
like,
didn't really.
and yeah. And
there's
yeah, you
other
know, just Chuck E. Cheese.
But
there's Chuck E. Cheese,
also,
nothing else.
don't they also do for Chucky? Or no? Was that Chuck E. Cheese we were talking about? Not actually Chucky.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about actually Chucky earlier.
It's the
Sorry.
Chuckster.
I have
Take
had
that
a
how you
long
will.
weekend.
And so this, creates a lot of questions about what this tent could be used for. The reason I led with Chuck E. Cheese is because I know there has been some, different ideas of what this tent could be, and I know one of the ideas circulating around is that if we aren't going to get a Five Nights at Freddy's house, which we talked about last week, that we're not really expecting it. I don't think a lot of people are expecting it because the movie is coming out so late in the event. Could this be a Five Nights at Freddy's of I don't know, like a special experience or something like that? And that is an idea that's circulating. I'm not too sure how much I believe that. I think it would be cool. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. Is that a fair answer?
Yeah, that is fair.
I'd say with the connection that it's for Garner Holt, it's not going to be a house.
No.
That's safe to say, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of the things I heard that I think makes a lot of sense is, like maybe work like a staging area for like a refurb on Men in Black. I don't know if we have confirmation that they made those animatronics, but it sounds very plausible because at the time, like, if you want an animatronics, that's basically who you went to. So I said, like, that sounds realistic, right? But I don't know. I feel like, could it be an experience with a bunch of animatronics in Chucky? Maybe, sure, but don't you kind of feel like that would have to be like permitted in basically the same way as a house if you're building it out like that?
I would think
Definitely.
so.
Which did not happen.
No.
Yeah, I think your idea and a lot of other people's idea of that it's going to be just used for the MIB refurb is probably, even though there are a lot of fun concepts, what this could mean, I think it's probably the most realistic one.
Mm.
Wow, I'm on their website right now just kind of seeing what they've done. And Haunted Mansion Holiday, all of those animatronics are pretty much them, which I love that, obviously. They've done a lot of like the Tokyo parades for Disney, which is kind of wild. And the 40-foot animatronic dragon for Fantasmic in California for sure. I don't know about over here.
Damn.
Well, over here it's different. So
well, ours is made out of paper mache. So
yeah, literally, ours gets blown away in too heavy of a fucking wind.
I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head, I want to say they made Kong from Confrontation. Again, like back in the day, they were, if it was an animatronic, at Disney or Universal, there's a pretty high chance it was Garner Holt.
They also did knots, a lot of stuff for knots.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, the staging area makes sense. To go a little more abstract, we talked about like a bar experience because they've done that in the past. We talked about that on the live today. They did it, like, I believe with Dracula Untold or something. There was like a themed bar for an upcoming something. So maybe it could be like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of a thing. Just something to get you excited maybe for the next year or for a film that's coming out later in the event, like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Man, and we couldn't get that last year for the weekend bar like they got in Hollywood. I would hope ours would have been better, but
I mean, the drinks, I would have rather not had a weekend bar with how bad those drinks were in Hollywood. But yeah, anything's possible. It's just definitely not a house. It's a little baby tent.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's such a little baby.
And our next piece of news is for Hollywood, a Hollywood house construction. And there isn't much, but there is some things to talk about. One, there is a flat facade now in the Parisian Courtyard maze that is painted with black paint. And this isn't in the facade. This is a facade within the maze itself that you can see from inside of the park. And that's good news because that means that particular maze will have another facade, as you're walking in, which I think is always cool. I know La Llorona had that, and it looked very good. That section with the, I think it was with the drowning kids and whatnot, and in front of you there was like another area they built out there. I forgot, was it a church or a barn, or I forgot what that was.
It was a church, I believe.
It was a church.
I believe so. That's what it looked like to me. And
Well,
we
yeah.
walked into a funeral.
Oh yeah, that's true. So yeah, so that's good.
Was the other
And
thing you said a barn?
no,
He did
because
say a
didn't you?
barn.
No, I did, but didn't you enter an area with like horses?
That was like the middle part.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wasn't
talking
it?
about, like the middle facade.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
Oh.
talking about the initial
Oh.
facade. That was
No,
a church.
you know, like the one inside of, like, once you enter the maze,
That
there's
was
another
probably
one.
like barn, farmhousey. I see where you're going with that. Yes.
Yeah,
But no, the first one was a church.
yeah, the first one was a church. So that's getting set up, which is great. And there is a facade that is continuing to be built on one of the Curious George tents that's now actually starting to take shape a little bit. We can see some outlines of something. It's not just a slab of wood, and I find that exciting. It's still a little early to tell what it is, unless any of you guys have like some vague, way too early guesses on what it could be.
Slab of wood.
Uh,
No, I have no guesses. Sorry.
yeah, it's
That's
not
boring,
much,
but I really
I got
don't.
nothing.
but that means soon we should be able to see some real progress there. So that is some good news. Hopefully, in the next, I'd say maybe 2 episodes, it starts taking shape, 2 or 3. I don't know why I'm calling that, but I am. And now we're gonna move on from construction updates, and we're gonna move to let's move to the, this is interesting news, but it's less interesting news, and we'll save the big news and rumor till the end. So
I agree. I agree.
So let's move to the John Murdy section. John Murdy, creative director for HHN Hollywood,
This is my house.
recently did a Q&A on Twitter about questions about HHN Hollywood, and answered some things and said some things that might be at this year's event. Will be if he said it. And the first thing is that 2 of this year's HHN Hollywood houses will have narrators to tell the story.
Young James Westhorne. Sorry, I didn't summon her, I swear.
She's gonna pop up any second now.
So I have theories on which 2 rumored houses will be using narration.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I'm just gonna say that my first theory.
I was hoping that's what would happen.
Yes, that is what. Yeah,
I have theories.
But
next.
I'm not gonna say them.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Yep, Chuck E.
Nothing
Cheese.
else.
Hellblock. Okay. But
Oh god. I'll mute you.
The first I think will probably be monsters.
I was thinking the same thing.
I feel like that works, especially if it's Phantom leaning. I think it would be great. For
Can I
monsters.
guess your next one?
Yeah.
Is it Chucky with Chucky narrating Chucky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chucky,
I knew it.
Don't forget to watch my new show.
I think it just makes too much sense if you're covering 2 seasons, and considering the fact that in the show there are points where it gets a little, like, it gets more abstract, and Chucky is the narrator at some points, or like is the guide to the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's, I mean, one reason we're potentially thinking this way is because how many houses are we confident that we know are coming to Hollywood? You know, maybe 3 total right now, and one of them is The Last of Us. So like, probably not gonna be narrated. But also, I do think Chucky even more makes sense because he kind of narrates the series, you know, as is, and it's such a fourth wall breaking series that I think that's the perfect way to implement that kind of approach and sense of what the property is right now in this series is by having him narrate his own house.
Yeah, I think it could be really funny and add a lot of humor to the house. And I mean, like we said, fourth wall breaking, like it could not only break the fourth wall of like the show itself, but break the fourth wall of HHN. You know, I'm sure I'd guess a lot of it would be recorded for the house itself. And I would love to hear what jokes they can come up with just about Halloween Horror Nights in general. So the next clue, or not the next clue, the next piece of info here is that for the soundstage maze this year, it's going to be every possible inch, every available inch is going to be used of it. Even though, because of the way Hollywood sound stages are used, part of that does include the queue itself. But yeah, John Murray is assured that every space is utilized, which is a good thing. I think that was the case for Weekend. I'm not sure about Exorcist.
I was gonna say, isn't that typically how it's? I could be wrong. We could be wrong, but I feel like it's always been used to its full availability that I've experienced.
Yeah, I would hope so. I've never been able to tell for sure. I would hope they used all the space available. I hope this isn't like a new thing. Like, guys, look, listen, we're using the entire space this time.
Well, if it is a new thing, then that's good that we're gonna get more space usage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Who knows? We could be talking like a couple square feet is the difference, though. I don't know.
Who knows? It's interesting information though. And
yeah. Thanks, John.
This next one is a direct quote from John Murdy from Twitter, and I think we're gonna have fun with this one, all of us. Okay, here we go. Well, I've written a scene where an HHN updater gets killed and another where a YouTube influencer gets killed this year.
Is he putting us in a house just to get murdered?
I think so.
Is it 365?
I was gonna say, who do you think he has in mind? I doubt it's us. It's probably someone Hollywood focused.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't know out in Hollywood, like who. I don't know. That's kind of funny. What if it was like, I know he's not an updater, but what, like Dead Meat? James goes there every year.
Oh, God. No, probably not. Maybe YouTube.
That's
Maybe
what I meant. YouTuber for him. But I don't, updater, I don't know.
Oh, no. John from the Hunt line. Watch your back.
Oh, no, John.
John, no.
Oh, my, that's kind of funny, though. I like that. So what does that have to do with anything?
I mean, John Murdy, murder me in HHN. Seriously, I'd be more than honored. I know it's not us, but make it us. Oh my God,
it is us on the like tiny percent chance it is. Make sure I have green and purple hair still. That's how I want to be remembered.
He actually just saw your most recent picture while sculpting your.
Damn it!
Yeah, sorry.
She's got black hair now. Fuck. They had to throw the wigs out. That would be whoever it is. I'm so jealous because that's so cool.
Something tells me it's going to be nondescript person.
Oh, that's true, actually.
But
whatever.
How cool would it be if it's someone recognizable? Like, congratulations if you get murdered at HHN.
John Murdy murders you personally in the scene. It's just the scare actor playing John Murdy just like choking you. You spoiled my entire event. It's like last year where the entire event got spoiled like a couple months in.
Yeah. I like it though. That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
Do we think this is going to be in-house or a Terror Tramp experience?
Oh, that sounds like
that
Terror Tram would be cool. Like they're on the Terror Tram with you and they like get off to like film or something.
Mm-hmm. Remember when it was rumored, or the Terror Tram was rumored that it was like Terror Tramp celebrities? And I don't know if I brought it up on this podcast. I might have just brought it up like just in general, but I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if like Dead Meat was like part of it? You know?
Yeah.
What if the celebrities are not celebrities as we think of, but maybe like influencers or YouTube or you know HHN influencers or stuff like that?
I would love if Dead Meat just straight up like hosted it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a big discussion last year that we touched on for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like they, you know, we know they're big, but like they've been in Chucky, like fully featured in Chucky. I didn't mean to say Chucky, but also sort of. Anyways, what I meant to say was Scream.
Yes.
Scream, yes.
I knew what you meant, but I went with Chucky.
Chucky did a kill count, so same shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
pretty
that would be
much.
super cool. And they just did their horror awards, and that like
Mm,
blew all of I think their views out of the water, like
really,
numbers
Wow.
wise.
really.
They were talking about it that they were so surprised how quickly that video
Yeah.
got traction.
And the production quality is great. Like they just do great stuff. Naturally are good hosts, so I think that'd be really cool and very. Uh, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but like it would just be cool for like fans of the event who are usually fans of horror to be like, whoa, I watched them
Yeah,
on
it could,
YouTube.
I don't know if groundbreaking is the right word, but it would definitely be groundbreaking is the best word I could use for fans of the event because they're genuine fans of HHN. They're not just
Hmm.
people
Yep.
who are famous who go to the event.
Yeah, they like do have a vlog area, but they go and don't
Yeah.
vlog also, like specifically to Orlando. Never had an
Yeah.
episode. They've been here.
Yep. So it'd be really cool. I would love that.
That would be. I love last year's Terror Tram concept, but that would top it if they actually execute it well.
Yeah. It's also kind of fan service at that point,
Mhm.
for all of us who do this year round and are crazy about it.
Exactly. And all of us follow, all the people who show, they show pictures online, or all the, horror channels like Dead Meat and stuff like that. So it would be just it would be great, great fan service,
Hmm.
and should be really fun for people who like us follow the event year round. If it's, if that's what this is, and it's actually not just like a random scene in a house.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see what this turns out to be. A joke.
This,
He didn't even do it. It's a joke.
well, we'll see. And the next piece of news here is very quick in that the character designs for this year's zones have just started, Hollywood zones. So that's good. Good piece of
That
info there,
that's
and
good.
it's good. It's a good thing.
It's good.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say besides woo, hooray.
Phenomenal. We definitely will have characters inside zones. All
I'm very
right.
happy. I was worried they were gonna be like, you know what? We gotta build better. We gotta build even bigger facades, so we don't have budget for characters in the scare zones this year. We'll have scare actors, but just like dressed in normal clothes running around. Um, but the next piece of info is that he made sure to say many mazes this year have water effects. So that could, I mean, that's interesting. It could get a little unpleasant, but I find that fun. Last year, what were the houses that had water effects?
Scarecrow with the birds
Oh,
Yeah.
Scarecrow did.
pooping
Clowns
on you.
did.
Yep.
I think a lot of houses in Hollywood had water last year.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm
pretty sure Weekend did.
I
At
feel
Horror
like,
Hotel.
yes, because the in the bathtub didn't she spit water at us?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I feel like people have said in the last 2 years Hollywood's had a lot of water. Like a
Well,
lot.
get ready to expect more.
Silly water. I won't finish it. It's okay.
Another thing that he made sure to note is that there was a lot of special effects this year. This was in response to someone asking about Chucky and him saying, "Yep, we're already starting testing on him," and there was a lot this year, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, much more to talk about except wait and see. And the last piece of information is that construction on the biggest facade hasn't started yet, which means all the construction updates we've been giving you guys on the different locations, there's going to be an area with the bigger facade. And I mean, I would assume that's going to be for a
Soundstage.
soundstage.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Unless-
I mean, they could. Who knows? Well, I'm trying to think. Have they done facade work for both Curious George tents or just one so far?
I think both.
Okay.
Though I could be wrong on that.
But
I very much could be wrong on that.
One of them is that really big one that we keep getting updates on, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild that that's not even the biggest one.
It's got to be
Exactly.
Soundstage then, right? gotta be.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
Soundstage 29, right? That's the Hollywood one, I believe.
But
Mhm.
couldn't, I mean, okay, wait. Was Monsters the Mummy house last year? Like in the Mummy queue, whatever?
Yeah,
That location's called?
Yes.
That was a decently sized facade. They could go very high with that one. They just can't go wide.
True.
So I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's the only other option in my head. It's either the soundstage or the Mummy Q.
Mm-hmm.
I would
if
be
it's
really,
not that Curious George one.
I would be really shocked if I'm honestly would be really shocked and happy if the Mummy Q got bigger than the one in the Curious George tent, because I remember the one that was there last year was really big, but man, I'd like to see them go taller than the Curious George tent. That would be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's get to some general rumors real quick before we get to the big main event. And it's just one general rumor, and that is there is a rumor flying around the HHN community. I'm very proud of that one.
No.
That there is going to be across Discords, across forums, across whatever. It's spreading like wildfire. That there is going to be an dragon-based house this year at for Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights.
You sounded like Trump trying to convince us how big that rumor was.
It's very big. It's
Bigly.
it's the biggest. You know,
Bigly.
I've never seen anything bigger. But
that's what they say. That's what they say.
Oh god. Can I just tell you, when you said the dragon thing, my brain started going, dragon tails, dragon tails. You don't even know what that is, Jonathan.
Yes, I do. I do know what that is.
I'm sorry.
They still put that on in school and shit. And
I don't know. I don't know. There are things that I say that I would expect Jonathan to know, and he has no. The outsider stuff.
I mean,
the kid had no idea about a classic novel.
Remember, they don't have books in schools in Florida anymore.
That's actually we got out just in the nick of time before they started taking all the books away. So dragons. And this is rumored to be an original, right?
I'm
we don't
pretty
know?
sure people are rumored that the rumor is original house.
Okay.
So it's not Game of Thrones or anything.
Puppets, whatever. Big puppets?
I would hope so.
I said this on the live.
Just people in dragon costumes, you know?
like furry dragon costumes?
No, like Party City dragon costumes.
Oh, can it be that dragon hat where your head is like your face is in the mouth?
Yes.
They all just pop out and go rah. So to be serious, I said this on the live. I just hope it's not like the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things Volume 2, where it's just a big static figure that they hype up as a puppet, and then only the hands move.
Look, it has 2 moving parts.
There's 4 puppeteers on here. Where were they?
Again, I think I said this off mic, but again, for us 3, if it was a situation where you like walked under it and its like head was like moving over you, oh man, and they kicked the heat up in the room.
Yeah,
some fog effects with lighting for fire. Oh baby,
I would lose my
kind of like think in a much better execution. The Beetlejuice, is that the sandworm? I always get him snake. I get him confused.
It's a sandworm.
Like that. You kind of go under it, but like a big actual badass dragon
not
instead
an
of
inflatable.
Yes, that exactly.
We love you, Clownzilla. We just don't love you, Sandworm, which hurts my heart. But yeah, I agree. It needs to have like skin and like I don't know, wrinkles. Scales, whatever they're called.
Wrinkles.
Wrinkles. I want like an old badass like dragon with like a white beard. He's actually a wizard. He's not a dragon. I have 2 brain cells left after yesterday.
Okay.
And also, I'm sure we'll talk about this rumor later as well. But I would like to see not only big dragons, but also little dragons, like baby dragons. I think that would be a fun concept. And dragon eggs.
Hatching dragons.
You could even do a thing where I know Depths of Fear had like the hand puppets that scared the shit out of me. You could have like little baby dragon heads like popping out from the ceiling or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Jonathan, you probably won't remember this, but Duff, the McDonald's at Animal Kingdom with the Carnotaurus and the Aladar hand puppets.
Yes.
That.
Yes. I had my Aladar one until I was like 17.
Oh, I had the Carnotaurus for way too long, honestly.
No, my Carnotaurus one got destroyed early because I played with it too much.
No,
That's
I
why
wasn't a
Aladar.
dinosaur.
He wasn't exciting to play with. That's why Aladar survived a long time.
The herbivore wasn't interesting
Correct.
to you.
Yes.
I'm shocked. Jonathan, I will find a picture and send it to you because it
They
would be the perfect little hand
they were
puppet.
simple hand puppets, but they had every child by the neck.
Hmm.
Literally. Oh my god, I found the best picture of all of them.
Oh, I'm ready.
I feel like they were this is going to be taken out of context. They looked bigger when I was younger.
Ooh.
Sorry, I led with that too. Jonathan, you should be getting that photo in the group chat in a moment.
Oh, there. Oh, that's.
And if
But
you're
Yeah,
listening and don't know what it is, I hope you're Googling too. Just put McDonald's dinosaur hand puppet. It will show up.
it will pop right up. They are exactly what you want coming down at you from above at an HHN house.
oh my
I think that would be
god.
great. I think that they could do something like that and it'd be very effective in a dark hallway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Hence why
So,
Jurassic Park needs another shot.
mm-hmm.
It'll make me watch the dinosaur movie.
You're watching it regardless, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Dragons. Dragon tails, dragon tails.
All right, next.
Dragons. Next. Yeah, let's keep the HHN theme going and go into our legacy section,
Ooh.
where legacy is a known insider in the community that says a lot of things regarding HHN and this year's HHN rumors and speculation and all that good stuff. And the first thing is that he said that there is going to be a 5-to-5 ratio of IPs to originals this year, which is different from the past 2 years where originals have been not on purpose but have been more prominent than the IPs.
I mean, I feel like if we look back at it, they didn't want to be that way, and it was always meant to be 5-5 at the start. So sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I find that, I mean, part of me is, I like originals and I like, if they're good originals, I like more originals. But I'm okay with the 5-5 split. I think that's fair. As long as there aren't more IPs than originals, I'm happy.
Yeah, agreed. I think a
Mhm.
5-5 split's perfect.
Uh, a big one here is that he has heard that the rumored Krampus original, uh, that that has been rumored for HHN 32, is dead. Meaning
Mm.
no Krampus original this year, according to Legacy.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
It was such a cool concept too, like an original take on
Mm-hmm.
Krampus, being able to do so many more
Could
things
have
with the
went so
character.
dark.
Mm-hmm.
You're just eating children. Oh, but the best.
And a Christmas house. We haven't had a Christmas house in a little bit, so
Mm.
that would have been a nice change of pace, or changing scenery.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, and here's the big one. Here's the thing we've been saving till the end of our HHN news, and that is Legacy. He's taking a break for a while of telling cute clues and to the community. Feels like lots of things were up in the air and everyone kind of stopped for a moment. But today he came back and he's like, "All right, guys, here's a clue. It's gonna be crazy. Here's a clue," and I'm sure he was not expecting it to be solved today, but we have one of our friends named HHN Wiki, and he's never prepared for HHN Wiki, because uh, HHN Wiki was able to solve this clue along with our help a
Okay,
little bit.
I'd like to point out we were actually and like truly did something this time.
We did. We
Yes.
did truly do something.
I had web pages pulled up and I was the one who said the movie name.
You
You
did.
did?
And we all were killing it. Duff was throwing out soccer player names later. Like,
Yeah, that one went nowhere though. We won't talk about that.
well, our Discord apparently gave a name. I will send it to you
Oh, thank you.
recently.
Or I
But
could
yeah,
actually look at our Discord.
yeah, it's in the
Oops.
Discord.
Another reason to join our Discord. We talk about these clues and try to solve them, and it's usually I'd say we got more right than wrong at this point. We've solved a lot of them actually.
You go 365's horror fam Discord server.
Yeah.
Exactly.
but also
Exactly.
Wiki.
Also, yeah. Also,
He did a lot
HHN
of the
Wiki.
work. He led us to Ralph Macchio, and then I started Googling from there.
All right. Well, Jonathan, what was it? Come on, we haven't
Yeah,
even got
sorry,
there
we
yet.
haven't done it
Okay,
yet.
okay. I've been holding back. So this legacy has said, and this was the answer. This is an original house, based, no, inspired by the plot of Crossroads, which is a movie where a musician goes down to the deep south and sells his soul to Satan for fame.
So basically, another way to look at it, if you have not seen the 1986 classic Crossroads, basically the plot of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yep. And I'm not gonna lie, if this is true and this clue is true, and this actually ends up coming, this, if it's executed properly and actually like tells the story in the house, this is the possibility of being one of my favorite originals of all time. This story sounds so cool and so intricate and so deep and so like, it's, a lot of HHN originals sort of have a base concept. Nightingales, they fly in, or Blood Pit, they fly and they eat people. Depths of Fear, they're fish people and they kill. But this one, it like feels like there's a very like interesting like story that's like woven through here.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can actually pull that off, it could be one of my favorite originals.
And I'm envisioning, it could be very wrong, but a set where it's like, in kind of like the swampy deep south, and eventually that transitioning into hell itself.
Yes,
The
because it's
sets
practically
could be
already
amazing. Exactly.
growing up down
Wait,
there.
well, I mean, South Florida is not the deep south.
I know, but I meant like
At all.
Everglades, swampy. That's what I meant.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Yeah, it really excites me. My only concern is the more we discuss it, the more it feels like the same build up to Coven.
Oh God,
With that
please
deep
don't.
story.
Don't say that. Don't say
And
that.
they were going to be immersive sets and deep in the speakeasy.
Stop.
And into the tunnels. Sorry.
Stop it.
I will not.
I'm
very excited.
None of
for
that
it.
has been said yet. Stop.
I'm very excited. Again, Jonathan, have you heard this? Have you listened to the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia"? I'm assuming you have. You're a music person, or no?
See, I haven't, but I listened to some of it today on Rip Ride Rocket, and it sounded pretty good.
How have you avoided 21 years of life without hearing that song somewhere?
Jonathan,
I don't know.
I'm so disappointed.
It sounded good on like the 1 minute I heard it on a Rip Ride Rocket. They said demons, I think, as I was.
Isn't it like a 6-minute song?
Oh my God, it is.
I don't know. It's long.
It is long.
There's a whole fiddle solo when they're battling.
That was the part I heard on the ride. I kind of wanted to catch more lyrics, but it's like, nope, fiddle solo. I'm like, okay.
Now I'm looking up how long the fiddle solo. That's the whole point of the song. God.
I thought the lyrics would be the whole point of the song.
Never mind. I'll never.
I gotta listen to it. If it's just this plot though, or just story, then I think it's gonna be up my alley.
Yeah, I think this has a lot of potential from the very little we know about this not yet confirmed house.
I guess the song's only 4 minutes long, but it really does feel longer.
I think it's a lot of solo that just makes it feel long, you know?
What it is.
Usually when you get a lot of solo, it's because it's a long song, but...
Yeah.
I will say, this is interesting for like a rumor of an original house too, because usually when you get like clues and stuff for originals by insiders and whatnot, there isn't this much detail to it. Like it usually, like for a while, I know Descendant Destruction was just like, yeah, underground creatures, like it was very basic. This is a lot to know this far in advance if it's true.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out, all he has said is, like this movie. Like,
true.
So who knows? Just to bring you down a notch.
That is fair. That is fair. Huh. Do we think the devil, because all we have is going off of this. Do we think the devil is actually going to be involved, or it's going to be?
Oh, I hope so.
Sort of the devil, but just sort of like a demon. Not really the devil, but it can be implied.
Ooh, I wonder if we'll see him in like different forms, like a human form.
And that'd be cool.
kind of gets unmasked. The demon, kind of like the girls in Coven, how they were beautiful on the
Don't
top.
do
Stop.
this. Don't
Stop.
do this to me.
It's just Coven. It's just Coven. That's all it is.
Oh God.
Oh goodness. I'm sorry. I do think it could be really cool. I hope we see kind of a devil imagery. It won't obviously be like a religious leaning kind of a devil thing, but I think that could be really cool. Depending on the time frame it's set in too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And hell in a house is something that I've wanted to see for a while. I know the only house I know that's done it that I've been able to see like a POV of was technically This Is the End in Hollywood.
Well, you've been to Hell Block.
I have been to Hell Block. That
Ah.
was probably as pleasant as hell is, you know.
Oh no, it was hell. That's appropriate.
Was the Fallen I mean, I know it's probably like a non
No, I don't.
like
I
specific.
think maybe it was intended to be at one point, but
Yeah,
I don't think
not
that's how it was when we saw it. No.
No. All right.
So yeah, I think this is a
Pretty big rumor.
really fun rumor.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I hope it actually happens. I'm praying.
I hope we don't get covened.
Okay, you need to stop.
I won't.
Jonathan, get us out of here. I can't hear this anymore.
The witches are back.
And they're pissed.
They're pissed. This time there's no speakeasy. You just go straight into the tunnel.
There's no speaking. You told him to get us out of here and he only made it worse. I'd like to point that out.
I did.
You guys can finish the episode alone. Bye. See ya. Have fun.
So
I'm going to bed.
Before we get to Mardi Gras, there's one piece of Universal news that I think is kind of important because this is like Universal history and also had to do with HHN at one point. And that is that Poseidon's Fury is officially closing next month. And this held a house. I believe it was Terror Mines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we feel about this location closing? And I would assume if Poseidon's Fury is gone, that means Lost Continent doesn't have too much longer.
Yeah, it's not a great sign for the land as a whole, is it?
Mm.
I mean, I love Poseidon's Fury. One, it's just stunning from the outside.
Yeah.
Probably the greatest attraction facade ever made. The experience is still fun too. I think it holds up. The issue is people don't love it so much in general. Yeah, like most rides that we love that eventually close. We're like, it's great. I love it. I hope it never goes away. The general public goes, what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Literally. I also haven't been through Poseidon's Fury in so long, even though I love it. It's just not something I like run to do, especially if it's over like a 20-minute wait. That's just a local mindset.
I mean, same. Unless I'm walking in it, like, no.
No, there's no situation.
That's me with every attraction, to be fair. So,
same. I won't ride anything.
It's nothing special for Poseidon's Fury. I'm like, if it has a wait, I won't do it. That's every attraction for the most part. I make exceptions for new attractions, but that's about it.
Did any of you, or did Duff, were you able to experience Terror Mines?
Nope, the year before I started going.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, goodbye, Poseidon's Fury. We
still we'll never experience the
Cue
terror.
the Sarah
That we'll
McLachlan.
never experience.
In the arms of an angel.
And with that, I think we hit all of our news and rumors.
All right. See you later. Good night, everyone. See you in the streets.
And we'll see you in the streets.
No, we'll talk about Mardi Gras. Whatever. Fine.
If you want us to.
We've already done it. We had you, and by you, I'm pointing at Jess. Jess and Jonathan went opening day and gave a raving review about the event.
Yeah.
So before we get into kind of how this transitions to HHN, did we see any improvements along the way?
Absolutely. I would say the food booths definitely, operation-wise, they stepped it up. If you remember from the first episode, I waited 45 minutes to an hour for chicken in Germany. And I never had that issue after that initial weekend. I think Sunday they were still having issues, but then after that they trained people or figured out that they needed to start pre-cooking things in the back to prepare them for out front. Either way, the food booths definitely were running better overall. That's a huge improvement from opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and not just the places inside of Universal, but the places outside of it. Red Brick Oven, which when we went to Mardi Gras opening night, decided to take an hour. Like it was crazy the wait time for the pizza, but later in the event, there was no problem. I had Red Brick Oven a couple times, and there was no obscenely long wait, which was good. And I'd like to mention that the Dead Coconut Club, after that first opening weekend, I was able to experience it a lot more because it wasn't as crowded as that opening day, and it was really pleasant. Like I did enjoy all the previous clubs held in that location, different themed areas, but I don't know, something about this one really stuck with me. I don't know if it was just the projections or the overall vibe or atmosphere, but this one felt like it really stepped it up a notch in the theming aspect of it.
Yeah,
It's
I
also
really
the first
enjoyed
one you had to drink in.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's special.
It is very special.
I think it's definitely up there with my favorite. I think that one and Dead are kind of Cursed and Dead are neck and neck. I did not like the red and green one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely was fun. The vibes were always good. The DJ was really good in there. Even like just sitting and listening to him mix because he was actually mixing.
Mm-hmm.
I never got to see the girls sing in there though. That is the one thing I missed during Mardi Gras.
I was so mad because like I was scrolling through Twitter and someone's like they're singing "The Power of Love" from Back to the Future. I'm like, I want to hear that
so bad. Why didn't I see that?
we were over at Rising Star. That was the issue.
And someone else was singing "Power of Love," and we didn't want to be there for it.
But no, Mardi Gras was a vibe this year, especially after opening weekend. It really was just a fun place to be for the last couple months.
Yeah. And we experienced no problems with the parade after opening night too. I remember the opening night there was the big delay.
The big delay where they crashed two of the floats.
Oh, yeah.
Well, didn't they crash the night after too?
They did. I think it was the same one too. Opening weekend was fun.
It seems like they fixed that though, later, and I didn't. I haven't seen any more posts about floats crashing. So
no, good. And they also got the pacing down really well on the parade. Where, like, I've complained about Disneyland before, like privately, the gaps in the Disneyland parades. Obviously, we don't have that on this coast, but even Universal was prone to it over here, and they really were on it with the parade this year.
Mm-hmm.
And those new floats were great. The tree can't hurt you anymore, Jonathan.
It can't. It's going away.
You get a well, 9.5 months of peace for you, Jonathan.
Tracy Tree.
that specific float better not come back.
Oh, the tree's going to be coming back for you.
It's gonna be here.
It may not be a tree, but the face will remain.
What else is it going to be?
Yeah.
A
muffaletta.
It's a po' boy with a face.
It's going to be the H in Hell block, and they're just going to put a face on it. It's like it's looking at you now.
He's looking at you, kid.
So yeah, obviously, I don't think I've really talked about it. I thought it was a pretty solid Mardi Gras year. The parade was fun. I think most of the food quality was really good. Drinks, for the most part, weren't standout across the board. I will say that much. The beer selection was phenomenal compared to years past. So kudos there. But like the actual cocktails for Mardi Gras, a little lacking across the event, I'd say.
Yeah, that Paloma still haunts me.
Whew. Salt.
Oh, it was so bad. But the Coco Loco was really good. We couldn't have it the last 2 weekends, but
it was really good. But I could only drink one, otherwise I would have got massive heartburn.
Yeah.
But that was another, I don't want to call it an issue, but in the past, I think it was the final 3 weeks of the event, they started to close booths, which the underperforming booths, I guess you could safely say. So you kind of would start heading towards something you specifically wanted. You get there, and the booth was closed, or the booth was completely gone. And you're like, what? Hold on.
Literally.
Where's my Coco Loco?
No, and they didn't put the chairs back yet over by Animal Actors, so
No.
there's still only half of the tables
Yeah.
and no booth anymore.
Yeah, they're already on the schedule to put them back after Mardi Gras. So, they didn't want to change that.
That's fair.
I think another issue potentially is the food pricing, and I understand a lot of it is like actually like good food and pretty good portions, so price has to go up with that. But I think if you want people to go around and eat a bunch of food, that's not going to be the best way to do it. I don't think I got food for more than 3 booths any single day. And I went multiple days thinking, I'm just going to eat all day. No, I couldn't. The portions were huge. It was like a meal.
Yeah.
And it was also not cheap once you got a few, So I think if you're looking to do more of a kind of Epcot festival thing where you want people to come and eat a ton and spend more money, you're probably better off making a bit smaller portions if that means bringing the price down so people can then eat more and feel like they can afford more as well.
Yeah, like a half portion, especially, I keep talking about the chicken, but it was one of my favorite things. You got like a whole chicken breast.
Yep.
And that was massive. It wasn't pounded out or anything. Like it was just
and then a whole
thick,
ass side.
Breaded. And a side of spatzel, which delicious. I'm going to miss that dish, but they could have cut it in half, given the same amount of side, and then knocked it down to like $7.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been perfect.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have much of a review more than that. It was surely a Mardi Gras. It was a solid one. I don't have big complaints. Just I would have liked to see this instead. That's all.
Can I ask you guys? Oh, sorry, John.
Oh, actually, I did have one more thing. The concert series did not last long. If you're gonna have the Mardi Gras event go that long, get more concerts because that's a huge draw.
The concerts ended in March, like early March. Mm-hmm. There was nothing. And the concerts weren't even that good this year. You guys got held hostage by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Fucking Goo Goo Dolls. I'll never forgive them. I was like, yeah, hostage. I like Goo Goo Dolls. And not that much. No, not that much.
No.
Not from what they did to me. Jesus. I feel like,
I'm so sorry.
Like managers were yelling at them, like, get the fuck off the stage. You're 90 minutes over your time. They're like, no. More new music.
But we're not going to sing the song you're all here to see. Yeah, the concert series needed to go longer. They need, I mean, we can't keep comparing it, but remember when they had Fall Out Boy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you used to be able to see Fall Out Boy in like bigger bands for free with your park ticket.
Yep.
And I swear to God, if I see Pitbull or Flo Rida again, I can't do it anymore.
Even last year, Jason Derulo, that's a huge get.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There's been a lot that I can't now think off the top of my head, but there's been a lot.
Yeah. Just, and I feel like it was very, I don't mean this in like a mean way, but it was very like Jingle Ball level people this year, like openers for Jingle Ball.
Yeah.
So, not the best, but yeah, the concert series need to improve. But I had a question for you guys about the parade before we pass that. We got a couple new floats and new sections. Did you guys have a favorite? Doesn't have to be a new one. It could be anything in the parade because we saw it a lot.
I will always be a fan. I don't know why, because it's such a simple one, of the one where they have the actual like performers up on a balcony. It just feels very. This is Mardi Gras, and I'll always love that one.
Like the French Quarter, Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
that's my answer too. I love the plus that they did this year with the lighting and everything. Really effective, and it sums up Mardi Gras.
We know Jonathan's. It's okay.
Come on, no, Jonathan, say it.
Tree.
I gotta give Tracy Tree.
Tracy. That's not her name. That's the name. That's the name from Rainforest Cafe.
That's what I'm calling it. That's what I'm calling it.
A performer's gonna yell at us on Twitter. His name is actually Thomas Tree.
But no, every time I watch the show, or at least most times, I zoomed in on its face, took a picture of it, posted it on our Twitter with no context, and I feel like after a while, like the last one, people are like, "Okay, I get it now." But so like this is just what he does for some reason. I don't know
if they say I got it, but they were like, this is something he does. Yes. I see.
And the last one was very good too. It was a good picture. Like I'm proud because usually like they get like super blurry because it's moving, but this one didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's a good one to end it off. Um, but yeah, that's I guess that's my answer.
I'll take it.
I knew that was your answer. It's okay.
And
All right.
I wanted to say one more thing
Uh,
about the event itself. Uh, I feel like it goes on a little too long.
yes.
Yeah, like even if they filled it to the brim with concerts and the food booths never left and everything like that. I just think it's too long of an event to take over the entire park because it's one thing if it was like, oh, after we have these food booths and you can go to them if you want. We have some sections of the park that have Mardi Gras stuff or Mardi Gras music, and at night is our big our stuff. Like that's one thing, but the entire park loop changes
Hmm.
in Universal Studios. Besides Harry Potter, uh, and it becomes Mardi Gras. And the loop is so short. There are not many songs on the loop that, or just we go that often that it becomes so tiring hearing the same songs over and over and over and over again. It's
Yep.
a problem with HHN tying it back when they have too short of a loop, and even that event that doesn't last as long as Mardi Gras, it can get annoying. So imagine now it's like like not only do you have to listen to this music if you're at the park, but you have no other choice. It's not like HHN where the music only turns that way at night.
Hmm.
The music is like this the entire day until you open to close.
Honestly, I
So.
don't think it would be a terrible idea for them to maybe kind of flip a switch like sometime in the afternoon where it goes full Mardi Gras,
Mm-hmm.
because there's really no, right? There's nothing during the day outside of having the booths open that is
Mm-hmm.
Mardi Gras.
And the booths don't even open till like 11
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
You could just I mean the parade performers didn't go out to like 4:30, 4:30
Yeah.
to like mingle. They could have done like a cash change kind of a thing how they do like for the New York zone.
Hmm.
And hey, the music started, we're all coming out from the gate. It's like a little mini parade moment.
You could have like a
Everyone go to your stations.
opening
Yeah.
gras-monies.
A crawfish boil and
I'll,
opening
I'll, I'll
boil.
work on that. But yeah,
Yeah, for next year.
like an opening ceremony type thing at the front
Yeah.
gate as you kick it off every day would be a lot of fun. And then you flip the music and uh,
Start the
the
party.
lighting
Yeah.
that is used that you can't see when it's light out anyways. But
It'd be really cool.
yeah.
I love that idea, and I think it'd be a way to keep Mardi Gras fresh. If you need to have it go on this long, then that's a way to do it without making I guess I want to say just the locals unhappy, but also I mean making the locals happy. But I'm sure people coming here on vacation and this might be their only week there in Orlando, and they're like, I can't wait to see Universal, and maybe they didn't know it was Mardi Gras during the time, and they're going in and they're like, oh, okay, and that's their
Hmm.
only experience at Universal instead of Simpsons music and Simpsons and uh you know New York music in New York, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And
Like I'm sure they would like even people just visiting would like the switch.
and it's such an easy thing to say that like the general public doesn't care about that stuff. And you're not wrong. A lot of them don't care about what music's playing and all that. They're just there. They want to ride some rides, get out. But not everyone who visits the park and isn't a local is just general public. Some of them are still massive fans and only come once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they come during Mardi Gras.
Which it lasts a long time, so I'm sure a lot of them
Yeah.
do.
So there's a lot of that demographic too, where yeah, they are massive fans, but they don't live here, so they don't get to come.
Hmm.
I understand you don't plan it for the people who come 50 days during the 80-day Mardi Gras run, right? Like makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming regardless. You don't have to worry about making it for them. They'll be here for every day that the music's back anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Um, but I do think there's definitely a demographic where it's like, ooh, that's not the Universal I came here for. That was weird. So why not give them the best of both worlds?
Yeah, there's a way to make it work.
Just, I mean, there's people who hate HHN, like whether it's will not do it, they're scary. And there's people who just think like it's stupid and have no interest and wish it was gone. Uh, the difference, they can go there during the day, and outside of a few sets out on the streets, it's just Universal during the day.
Right.
They don't have to deal with HHN outside of that and some merchandise. Like, that's it. Mardi Gras, a little different. You're forced to experience Mardi Gras, basically, if you're at the park.
Literally. You cannot walk, I think, more than 20 feet without seeing something, hearing it, a food booth. Like, it's all Mardi Gras.
Which, again, is fine if it was
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah, it's been going on since, was it the beginning or middle of February?
Was it like February? Was it like the 4th? Hold on.
I don't know. I feel like it's been going on forever.
It's lasted a very
And
long
I've never
time.
felt this way. I really do love Mardi Gras.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, it was February 4th. So it's basically 2.5 months. Yeah.
God. I know that, like, it makes a lot of money, and, you know, the money gets then funneled into other things, which could benefit HHN, but, like, there needs to be variety. They should have extended the concerts, like, maybe not done one every weekend if they only had 8 performers.
Or spread it out, because there were a couple weekends they did multiple performers.
Yeah, just, it could have been every other weekend, and then, you know, the weekends that there is a concert, maybe the entire day is the party from open to close. But on the days that there's not, I know it's not all about the concerts, but, like, it just was a lot. But I will say, I want to give credit, the parade performers this year, the energy, I feel like is
so
something
good.
I've never seen.
Especially as long as the event is. We went last week, and they were going in.
Yeah.
To almost, like, again, we're talking over 2 months into the event, and they're still going all the way in.
Yeah. They left it all on that parade route. And I'm sad I missed the last one.
And I feel like they amped up the walk around characters this year. Or, you know, the performers got to walk around more. Like, there were more options of them walking around this year than in years past. And there were some really fun interactions with them, too, during the day.
Yeah, they made that whole area that kind of made me sad. Upcoming Minion Land, and they gave it some life. You know, made me almost forget about our eventual takeover by yellow minions.
I would say maybe not the best place to put it logistically, because people stopped and take pictures in an already crammed area. But, you know, it is what it is. Sure, go for it, Universal.
But they made me not look at the Transformers building that was painted blue now.
I mean, they also could have just used the, like, Music Plaza more. All they had to do is, if they put the performers just a bit back further that way, right? You know, maybe that.
Yeah. Well, that would be great.
I mean, I remember they basically stuck the performers in the middle of an already restricted street. So,
remember, wasn't it in 2021 there were food booths over there?
Yes.
And because the performers were all elevated that year as well, like the bead throwers.
And they spread them out. There were some by, like, the Music Plaza, and there was even a float, and that performers were over by that area, and it worked great.
Oh, I forgot.
I
forgot all about that experience, going back into the soundstage and seeing shit.
Yeah, all of that. They did that for Christmas as well. You could see all the Macy's floats back there. Wow, the pandemic was a wild time. We just kind of blocked that out of our brain, didn't we?
Remember HHN Light?
Sort of.
Yeah, I guess.
I remember awkwardly waking up at 6 a.m. to go to HHN.
Yeah, I am not a morning person, and boy, did that really kill me.
It was something. After that initial day, it was cool to just go to the park at, like, 4 o'clock and go in HHN houses, but
yeah.
That first day, it was like, this is weird. And Beetlejuice Day. I guess I did it then, too.
Yeah.
God, I remember sitting on the streets of Hollywood just waiting to get a time.
Oh, the stress.
My phone.
Oh, the stress.
Imagine the stress I felt.
Yeah, that's true. Fair.
Like, any stress anyone else had, amplify that by, like, 100.
Fair.
I was like, am I going to get in this house? And then, boy, oh boy, did we get in that house. Okay.
Yes, you did.
All right, let's move this on to the point where we look at what they did for Mardi Gras. Let's specifically talk about this year, what they did. So if they did it in past years but didn't do it this year, get it out of your mind. Something they did this year for Mardi Gras that you would like to see them also do at HHN.
Trying to think of things they specifically did different this year.
I
mean, it could be something they've done forever.
Oh,
it doesn't have to be new this year.
Oh, okay.
As long as they did it this year.
I might be wrong, but I really feel like we had a better variety of booth options. Like the countries were more expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had India and Indonesia and Colombia and Brazil instead of like just a South America booth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I want HHN to kind of not obviously not that same thing, but I want more variety. We started to see it last year. We even saw it the year before.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like from 2021 to 2022, we expanded. I really want to see in 2023. We were even talking about it earlier on the live. I would love to see like there's a wing booth, and at the wing booth you can get bone-in wings, boneless wings, and cauliflower wings. So now there's a vegan and vegetarian option
Mm-hmm.
as well. Bunch of different flavors, and you can customize it. A pizza fry booth, just pizza fries, and you can customize the toppings, or there's different options. Like I just want to see them expand and keep going, and then each booth also gets a dedicated drink because I
Yeah.
think that they've kind of proven that not just doing 2 or 3 mixed drinks with the same kind of liquor, that they can do way more than that and pre-batch them as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a whiskey, a vodka, a tequila, a rum, a gin, make everybody happy. And I think that Mardi Gras is kind of their tester for it, honestly.
Yeah, and I think for the most part it went well. I guess the booths that closed early would beg to differ potentially, but
Yeah.
to piggyback off yours a little bit, I'd say, while not just expanding the booths, I think getting more cuisine options.
Hmm.
So, like, we saw a bit of that last year, where you added actually a lot of Korean influence because you had the fried zombie brains with gochujang, the
Mm-hmm.
Korean corn dog.
Corn dogs, yeah.
Because I feel like before at HHN it was just a bunch of like kind of
American food, drinking
American, yeah,
food.
yeah, exactly,
Yep.
bar food, American food.
But it's
Um,
funny because in Korea that is bar food.
oh yeah, I mean I'm not saying
No, I know,
don't
but
have like bar food from our countries. Great. I'm just saying like expand the types of cuisines we'll see. Not only
Mhm.
give us more booths, even if you give the same amount of booths, the same amount of booths, but again further expand the cuisines we see at those booths, I'd accept that fully. And again, we did see that start a bit last year, and they kind of tried. Basically, they did like a Mexico booth, right? Sort of.
Mhm.
hmm
That's kind of what they were going for there. So great, love it. Let's see more of that. Just a little bit more.
Absolutely. And I would say that I would love while it was a better deal when it originally popped up, it became a less of a deal later. I would love to see the food and beverage card get translated not just for Mardi Gras but also HHN, where you pay for an annual pass holder you pay like 120 and you get $150 worth of food, so you're saving $30 in a way, right? Because while you are technically saving $30,
You're giving it all to
I
Universal Guaranteed. It's great.
exactly, and I definitely spend more when I'm not thinking about money.
Hmm.
Instead I'm like, oh, it's on my card. Woo. I definitely spend a lot more than I would if I didn't have that. I'd probably be a little bit more cautious
Hmm.
of the money I spend, but especially since there are so many people that go to HHN multiple nights, having that card, I feel like you'll get people to buy or to give Universal a lot more money in the food department than they would otherwise. Because there have been so many times during HHN where I'm like, besides a couple options, nothing else is that good for the price in terms of like me wanting to have like a full meal. So instead I'll go to City Walk and just get something real quick, or like go to Moe's or something like that. But if I had a food and beverage card, I'd probably be like, yeah, I can go to this booth, and now I'm satisfied. Even if it costs a lot more money than just going somewhere else.
Yeah. Universal, listen real quick. Turn up your volume. Listen to my voice. I would buy so many of those cards at HHN. Like
Oh yeah.
10 would be a low number. I would give you potentially thousands of dollars on food and bev cards. Do it.
Really, I think it's
Yes.
such a smart
Yes, because
idea.
I know when I have it, I'm going to go there and I'm going to
hmm
be like, oh, there's money on here, spend. Oh, there's money on here, spend. And I won't have any shame in doing it. I will have
Yeah,
shame when I whip out my card 8 times a night.
Yeah. I would also just love to prepay for, even if it's just opening weekend, my drinks, like buy a
Hmm.
card. I don't have to worry about it. I won't lie. Someone did tell me buy the Mardi Gras cards and then use them.
Yeah,
at HHN.
You
that
can,
is an
yeah.
I
option.
didn't
Yeah,
think about that. I would
but
have bought one today, actually, if I thought about
it'd be
it.
great if we just also had the option directly at HHN. Because
Yeah.
one, you feel like you're getting a discount because you are getting a discount. But Universal then knows they're collecting 120 or whatever they put it at directly from your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Their return on investment is still very high that way.
Hmm.
And I mean, I would say, a reason for like one reason before for a food and beverage card for Mardi Gras compared to Halloween Horror Nights is that Mardi Gras was very much, originally lots of snacks, like not snacks, but like little portions. But it's not like that anymore, you know, like we've just discussed. So I feel like there is valid reasoning to bring the food and beverage card to HHN.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I love it. Let's do it.
Rhea agreed with you, obviously. Sorry about that.
Not gonna lie, it gave me a little jump scare.
Yeah, that's what I had to mute. She was very upset. I don't know what happened.
Food and beverage card, that's a stupid idea.
No, she was like, Mom, why didn't you buy one before you left today? What the fuck? Come on, you're wasting all my money for food. That was what she said. That's why she was so loud.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Um, Other than I don't think I had another one. I figured we'd all stick with like food and bev, so that's what just happened.
I want a big parade to go through
Yeah.
HHN every
Yeah,
night.
that's
I got
totally
one.
feasible.
I got one that's not food and bev because
Oh.
apparently
Whoa.
all we do is eat and drink, which
Yeah, that's true.
it's something that we talked about that I think is gonna go into HHN. But I want real spirit jerseys,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
like we had at Mardi Gras. Also, some of the merch, it wasn't my style. Like the mythological thing, I didn't buy anything this year, which is so rare. Except the candles. I always buy the candles. Just the variety looked really good. There was like, black shirts and colorful shirts, and there were like acid wash hoodies, which just kind of were used over from HHN. But I like the variety, and I think we kind of had that last year with HHN. I want to see even more. But spirit jerseys.
But spirit jerseys.
Spirit jerseys. Always spirit jerseys. I want real ones.
I'd say it's very likely at this point, right?
I think that's what they've switched to. Every time I see one in a gift shop now, I'm like, is it real? And it is. So
there you go. Wish come true. Okay, I'll add one thing, and it's going to be very ambiguous because it's not going to be the exact thing. And actually, going back to the parade, I think having some sort of experience that people can like sign up for and be part of something a little bit bigger than just attending the event. I don't know what that is or how you do it, but I think something like that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. That could
Again,
be fun.
I really don't know what it could be because I didn't spend time thinking about it. I just thought about it now. But simply having experience where people can be in it more, and not an additional cost, just by signing up.
I don't know what that could ever be, but it would be really
No,
cool.
I mean it could be some. This is really stupid, and this is not exactly the one I would go for. But like, if there was a special show that they got to be like the victims in or something,
that'd be fun.
Something along those lines.
I would love. I know you said not an upcharge, but I would love for them to take like the dine and float experience and make it like a dine and scare, and you could like sign up to get made into a scare actor for one set. For it would be a ridiculous price.
It'd be a ridiculous price and very risky.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that would be true. But or like they could put you like behind something where you can't be a liability, but you're still scaring. I don't know, like the chain link rat race or whatever, rat run, whatever. You're like behind a fence, but you're still working.
Yes, the one scare actor assaulted that night is the person who paid $1,200 to do it.
It would never work. This is just a wish list, but that's just because I want to pay to be a scare actor.
Yeah, I know.
For one night,
it would be great. I'd love to do it, but yeah, I just don't see how they pull that off.
It wouldn't. Or even if there was like, I don't know, it'd be cool if there was a lounge or something like outside. I don't know where they could ever put it, but near a scare zone where, hey, you have like an open bar for an hour, you get to watch people get scared, and you're like in the environment. I think that would be cool as hell.
I mean,
honestly,
they could even do something.
I think
like.
Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
Oh no! I was gonna say you could even do something like you could have that, but there's, if you guys remember I forgot what I think it was by the Glacier Bar in SeaWorld's Hollow Scream. They had
With
not
the button.
only was it a bar, but there was also like the buttons you could scare people in the houses themselves with like air blasts. Like that could be fun.
Yeah.
What if they did like a I know it kind of already gets used on Horror Nights nights, but the balcony on top of Fallon, if they did
I was
like
thinking about that.
if they did like a cocktail hour there or something.
Like a fireworks dessert party.
Exactly, but at HHN
But for
with
HHN.
alcohol.
Yeah. That'd be cool. And they could just put little like stand-up tables. It would be cool if the zone had projections.
Yeah, yes.
They could like market it as like, hey, watch the zone or whatever. Put like a scare actor up there for atmosphere. That'd be so cool. Now we're just going into wish lists. We're not even talking about Mardi Gras things anymore.
Although you did say the upcharge experience thing, so I kind of went with that.
Fair, which we didn't do. I have been going to Mardi Gras for years and I've still never thrown beads.
Neither have I.
Ever.
I've never been on a float.
I didn't. Oh my God. Okay. So for 2024, we have to throw beads.
We're not going to do it. We're going to say we're going to do
Jonathan,
it. Jonathan, do it.
I'll mute you.
I'm just spitting reality here. Like,
I hope we throw beads and we are the closest to that tree that we could ever get.
Oh God.
And the tree's just whispering in Jonathan's ear.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, I heard you're 21 now.
Oh God, what the fuck does that tree want to do?
I don't know. Have you seen its face?
I'm sure it has a plank of wood.
Oh, I get it.
Sorry. Tying an old joke into... Yeah, okay. Carry on.
Why is that a recurring joke now? All right. This is not what I wanted. Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Anything else?
See you next year.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm happy you're gone, but I'm ready for you to be gone.
I can say I'm happy.
Yeah, no, I know you can. See you at the parks tomorrow to listen to the normal park loop because we're losers.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Deal. If I'm alive, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Not literally, just in case anyone's wondering. I just don't feel good. That's all. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, we wouldn't be nonchalant about it if we thought.
I just meant I'd be laying in bed. Okay.
It was a weekend.
Let's just get to our outro then. So as always, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365 or our TikTok, do it all, please, at HHN365pod. Join our Discord, HHN365 Horror Fam. The link is in the description or all over our social media. And then go check out our new merch line and our old merch line if you want at HHN365.com. Pretty good stuff if I do say so myself. And if you want to join us here on the show, leave us a voicemail at 407-906-4134. And until next week, we'll see you in the streets.